now that I have bought my own travel trailer RV, I am realizing I should have just bought one earlier, because there are so many great options out here that I could see myself enjoying now that I just fully understand that it's not all that serious all the time, and just getting one and getting out and camping has been the most fun experience. This Grand Design Imagine 2500 RL is a really cool floor plan. I could see myself easily enjoying camping in to a really high degree, and I could see you enjoying it as well, especially if you like a more modern interior look. You'll see what I mean when we go inside. Let's go take a look. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Myles with Firmly Unbound, and we are taking a look at this Grand Design Imagine 2500 RL. This is going to be a really cool floor plan layout here that I just think is so open, gives you so much seating space. You'll be able to see the floor plan layout and the specs on the screen, but you won't really get a good feel for it until we step inside, because it really is more open than I would have even thought. Now, before we get too far into this, if you are looking for your next RV, if you are interested in an RV, there is a link down below in the comments and description where you can find over 100 different Blue Compass RV dealerships across the United States, across 33 different states, to find your next RV somewhere close to home for you. So you can use that tool down there below to help you find your next RV. And in fact, I'm here filming this RV at the North Carolina RV show in the Blue Compass display, although this show has passed by the time you are seeing this video. But nonetheless, this camper here, it's right at about 30 feet unloaded. It's about 6,600 pounds, about 7,800 to 7,900 pounds fully loaded, with about a 680 pound hitch weight. This is something I probably could get away with towing with my Tundra, but with the extra weight that I bring along with me when I camp, especially going to film RVs in the summer for you guys, I have a generator that will run 3 ACs on the big fifth wheel RVs that probably weighs at least like 250 to 300 pounds. And along with other stuff as well. This just kind of put it a little bit over the hitch weight and cargo capacity I was looking for and what I want for my truck, only because I bring so much extra cargo. But there might be a lot of half tons out there that can still manage something like this, and I think this is just a really cool camper option. You have a nice looking front cap here. This is the new front cap from Grand Design Imagine for 2025, so they added the little bit of red in here, the new light strips in here as well, and it's just a new design from what it was in the 2024 models. So it looks pretty good. It's pretty simple, and then you get their big, logo here from Grand Design as well. 2 20-pound propane bottles with a power tongue jack and a spot for your battery. Now, one thing to note here, it's really nice that they're giving you this coiled breakaway cable here. This is actually really nice. Just makes this easier to manage than having a super long non-coiled cable here in this area like most travel trailers have. Another thing to note, there are some other brands out there in the same price range that will have a little bit better managed wiring here. This is pretty as basic as it could get for the wiring construction here going to the battery terminal. Not a huge deal or anything like that, but it's not like a Forest River, Rockwood, or Flagstaff, for instance, that actually puts another plastic wrapping around these cables to keep them together and just makes it look a little bit better. But nonetheless, we'll keep going on. As we go down this side, you can see there is one slide out there. It looks like they're doing a through frame rack and pinion style slide. We'll get to that in a second. And let's see if I can get into this door here. We're a little tight next to this space. Wow, thick baggage door. That's nice. Slam latch on those two. I really like that. You don't have to deal with the little metal clips or anything like that. Water connections are here inside of this space there. So really like that you get that back in this area. They also have your little instructions here for sanitizing and winterizing your RV, which is nice. Prep to add an inverter on here, so it does not come with an inverter, and it does have a 30 amp solar charge controller. So the solar is just keeping your batteries charged. That is all it is doing. You have a spot here to store your sewer hose down underneath the camper, and then you have manual stabilizers on here, which you can use a drill to shoot those down real quick. Very easy. My camper has manual stabilizers on it, and I have no complaints with it whatsoever. It's actually a really simple, easy, pretty much like fail-proof system there with the manual stabilizers. Coming along this side, their storage compartment is awesome. I mean, just a huge storage area in here. Really, really nice. You have the aluminum framing on here, and on this aluminum framing, you do have welds on both sides of the frame connections. outlet right there, and then you have the LED light strip in here as well with a motion activated sensor on there. And then they even give you this more like rubber style flooring in here as well in this storage space. So overall, I mean, this for a travel trailer storage is like pretty dang close to a 10 out of 10. Really like it, and love the slam latch door on there. Magnet latch to hold this open. And then you have your awning along the side. The awning is so big, they have a middle support bar for it right there. And that is going to cover both entry doors. One entry door is going to get your MORryde step above solid step there. And then the other one is going to get a more traditional step. Now, I actually think this is very smart. Reason is, on my travel trailer that I have, it has these steps on both entry doors. Seems cool at first, and it is cool. I haven't had an issue with it so far. However, there is a potential thing that could happen where, if you haven't seen how these steps work, when you put them up into the door, they will store like so, okay? So they store like that. Now you can imagine if both the steps are up in the doors, there is no way really to get into here unless you can climb up over this step without taking the step down. So the only issue with that is you have to have enough clearance on the side for this step to be able to come all the way down without hitting anything to get inside the camper. So I have already seen, like in my storage unit, luckily where I have my RV stored, there's enough space where I'm not parked so close to another camper that I can't get my steps down, but it is close sometimes. For me to park my camper in the most ideal spot where I can get my slide out and also get my steps down, I mean, my steps come literally about that close to hitting the wall of the camper next to mine that it's stored next to. And that wouldn't even really be an issue if I had a second set of steps that were like this, because these just tuck up underneath the door and make it so you can get in and out of this door pretty much whenever, however, as long as you can step up into that space there or use a step stool to get up into that space. So I know that's a little bit of a long-winded explanation there, but I think a lot of people out there don't understand these little differences. Like, they might make a difference for you potentially, and they're just things I think you should understand. But let's move on. You have a spray port out here on the campsite. Love that. A lot of campers do not have like an outdoor water source on the campsite. Also notice on these doors, they do utilize a friction hinge, so that's going to prevent the door from just swinging into the side of the camper. Love that. They also have the plastic latch right here to hold it open permanently, just in case it is like super windy or anything of that nature. Tankless on-demand water heater. Outlets out here, and it looks like a cable TV connection out here as well. Coming along this side, go to the back into the non-camp side real quick, then we'll hop inside. Got a ladder to get up onto the roof. Always appreciate when that's installed now that so many brands have went to using the Lippert retractable ladder system where you don't actually get a ladder with your RV. You have to purchase it additionally. You have a rack and pinion style slide out mechanism right here and a fully enclosed underbelly. So all your water tanks and water lines sit above the enclosed underbelly. And then your 50 amp connection right there. We'll get up on the roof real quick to see what's going on up here. You have two ACs up here and have the Winegard digital satellite as well as a 200 watt solar panel, it looks like. Now, when you first buy your RV and throughout the ownership of your RV, make sure you get up here and check the seams often. You'll probably have already seen it on my channel. If you haven't already, go check it out. But on my brand new 2025 RV, I got up on my roof, I checked the seals right away when I first took it home, and I found a little hole in one of the seals that I had to fix, and that is just part of being an RV owner. Had I not done that, it rained for the past 24 hours straight that I have been in North Carolina, and I brought my camper out here for this, and there's a very high chance that I would have had a roof leak if it was not for me doing the proper RV ownership requirements to take care of my camper. One of them being you need to go up and check the roof often as you possibly can, and do it from day one of when you purchase your RV, because it is your responsibility to make sure that holes, cracks, breakaways, anything like that, and any of the seals anywhere up on the roof do not occur. And if they do occur, you need to get those patched and fixed as quickly as possible, because that is how you're going to have a roof leak, and it is 100% your responsibility to make sure that as those happen over time, as they easily can happen, to make sure that they get fixed. So just one of the biggest points I can mention there, because a lot of people comment about how roofs leak on RVs all the time and stuff like that. And the only way a roof can leak is if there's a hole somewhere in the roof, which is your responsibility to check up on and to make sure is, you know, being maintained properly. Last thing outside I want to show you here on the tires, they have the Moride CRE 3000 suspension system there, and then you have the red brake drums here, which is indicating that this has an ABS system on it, so that's really nice as well. Not all campers, and in fact most campers in this size and price range, are still not going to have an ABS system on them, so that is really nice. And then you have a custom like Grand Design logo there on the wheel. Goodyear Endurance tires, and then that is pretty much everything. So a really nice looking like set of running gear there on this camper. Right when we walk in, I noticed like outlets and USB ports there, plus a safety light. And then look at all the seating space that we have in here. Really, really nice. Again, it's like a modern feel in here, like I talked about when we were outside. If you want more of a modern touch on a travel trailer RV, Grand Design Imagine is certainly one of the most modern looking travel trailers out there, I would think. It's modern in a different way than like Brinkley is also a like very modern looking travel trailer, but certainly has a much more modern look than most other things. The way they do like these light fixtures here with the light strips instead of a traditional just like puck light, kind of like you see underneath here. The lighting in here is also cooler. So this cooler light tone, it's not as warm. It definitely, again, draws to that more modern feel inside of here. And it just feels different. It's definitely not like what most other travel trailers feel like. And I think most people will be able to perceive that when you step foot inside of here. Now, before we get any further, this here is liquefied. Liquefied is a black tank treatment you can get for your RV, and you can find that on Amazon. I'll be using that in my RV, and I would recommend it for you as well. Make sure everything decomposes properly and drains out properly from your black tank, and then also keeps it smelling fresh. And then also, if you haven't seen it already, I have another YouTube channel called Firmly Unbound. There's a lot of stuff on there. I went on my first camping trip, which I documented on there, and then a whole bunch of other things that also have to do with the idea of what it means to live firmly unbound. So there's a link down below in the comments and description of this video that you can find that channel on. Every camping trip that I go on with my camper, I will be documenting on that Firmly Unbound channel there. Now, as we get back through here, there's a lot of different things to talk about that are really interesting in this camper. First of all, I'm sure people are already commenting that there's no spot to eat, which I always think is funny, because when people say that, it's definitely and obviously, you know, kind of insinuating that you need a table to have a meal, which I just don't agree with the premise of that. I'm sure you guys can let me know your thoughts down below in the comments on that, but I have eaten most meals in my life not at a table. So I don't agree with the premise that you need a table to have a meal. There's so many ways you can sit down on the sofa with a plate in your hand and a fork in the other hand, and you can sit and enjoy a meal and watch TV. You also could get a, you know, freestanding table or some sort of picnic table or something like that and set it in this area and enjoy a meal that way if you want a table inside the camper. You also can go outside and sit at the campsite table where you're camping at and have a meal that way, or you can bring outside tables with you like most people do when they're camping to have a meal. Or you can do what I do, and you can just stand and hold your cheeseburger or whatever it is that you're eating and just stand here and eat. So I know that's not how everybody prefers to eat, and some people really insist on a table. So if you really insist on having a dining table in a travel trailer, it's okay. This is just not the RV for you. But if you do not insist on needing that, then this is a pretty cool option. That would certainly not stop me from buying this camper, because I have a dining table in my travel trailer, and we've had one meal sitting at the dining table. It was Megan that sat at the dining table first, but I was going to go sit on the sofa to eat. And since she sat at the dining table, I decided to sit there too. But other than that, I have not eaten a single meal at the dining table. And when I'm camping in my camper alone, I have not even sat down at my dining table yet. So don't think it's a super critical thing, but it just depends on your camping style. As you can see, I pull down blackout shades on all of your windows. So those go around like so. And then you can see how those open up here. One thing that's pretty important to note too, that if you don't know this about RVs, pretty important to have like a dehumidifier in your RV and different things to trap and catch water and moisture in the air, because camping here in North Carolina, it's pretty cold outside. It's dropping into the 40s at night with the furnace on and things like that. Condensation is building up like crazy in my camper, and I did not know how much it would really build up. So I have a little dehumidifier, but it's still not quite enough. So that's just something to be aware of with RVing for you there, because moisture will just destroy an RV if you don't, kind of control it. Nice little hidden storage here. Again, you have your outlets there on this side and on this side with USB and USB Type-C connections. Cool little hidden storage spots. I love those. You could fit a good amount of stuff in there. And what I like about this floor plan is you have additional sleeping space with this sofa. So that's one thing, like my camper is missing that, because it has this 3-cushion sofa like this here as well. And I love that. Someone could certainly sleep on this without a doubt. And I also love that all 3 cushions recline. Plus you have the flip down armrest, cup holders here. And this one even gives you this pop-up USB and USB Type-C charging here. So that is really neat. But all 3 of these recline. And most campers like this will give you a dining table right here, which yes, will collapse down into a bed, but it's not nearly the same kind of bed that you'll get with this trifold sofa here, where this is going to lift up like so and allow a, almost like full size to queen size bed to pull out from that sofa. So I really like this also giving you that additional sleeping space. I think that is really cool. So we turn around this way. You have your TV here. That looks to be about probably like a 40-inch screen TV or so. Doesn't have any size specs on it, but you can see here, it does have a swivel mount so you can move it around. When you're sitting at the sofa, I mean, it's a pretty great view right there. It does not have the, TV too terribly far away from you. Plus it can pull out to get even closer. It is a TCL branded TV. And then as we look up to the ceiling, you can see your AC unit here. It is ducted back into the bedroom. Bedroom also has another AC unit in it there, so you're gonna have both ACs ducted together. Great cooling power in here, JBL speaker up in the ceiling, and then you have your vent fan there up over the kitchen, plus a vent over the microwave. You also see like the more, modern look and design in this camper with the cabinet doors and the handles on the cabinet doors. So much more, modern looking on these. You can see how the drawers open up here. I will say you might notice on this camper, these little like spots right here feel a little aggressive on the hands. I mean, they're like a 90-degree angle with metal. And if you have wider hands and your hand like brushes up against those, it does kind of pierce into your hand a little bit. So they're not my favorite handle design on a travel trailer, but they're not terrible, and if you have a little bit smaller hands, you probably won't even notice it. But just something that I personally noticed as I've been opening and closing these cabinets. Hidden hinges on the cabinet doors, so that's nice, and then these are soft close cabinets as well. And then you can see they're using a plywood style drawer construction here with staples to hold everything in place. Has a solid surface countertop, so more like a ceramic style countertop, which is awesome in this size range, in this weight range. No heat vents in the floor, so you can see the heat running through the cabinetry there. And then curious what y'all think about this flooring design in here, because this flooring design is definitely different than most other travel trailers out there with this like square texture looking, vinyl cover over the flooring. Curious your thoughts on that. Let's see, up underneath the slide out, you can see they have a foil layer of insulation here under the slide. So a nice little extra step there of insulation. A lot of other brands will not have that. Just kind of tries its best to, keep the heat in and things like that. Underneath here, you have a pots and pans drawer. They have these different pegs so you can kind of divide things out and get them situated the way that you want underneath here. Standard Furrion oven, nothing too crazy about this. And a 3-burner gas stove here. Still has the bubble wrap on it, but that will be a 3-burner stove underneath there. Standard RV size microwave. A little storage space up above here. Nice big storage there. And storage through here. You have your cover for the sink right here, so this will be like a drying rack right there. And then still soft close cabinets up here. They use these poplar cabinets. I'm not too familiar with different like cabinet construction materials here, but you can see kind of what they talk about with these cabinets there. You have this basically like stuck on, I don't know what the material is, but backsplash here. It's like a plastic feeling material there. Really like the charcoal stainless steel sink. Has a really nice look to it. Love that color there. And they even give you this soap dispenser there, which is pretty nice. Faucet will drop down and extend out. And then down underneath here, you have a little like spice rack area or area for sponges and soaps, and a couple drawers that will open up as well. Extendable countertop space when you need that extra little bit of space there. Outlet here, outlet there, and looks like that's it. Right when we walked in, you have your controls here for the travel trailer. Interesting, this does not have 12-volt heat pads on the water tanks. So you have your interior, exterior light controls there. You also have your water pump controls here. This connects to your phone, so you can control everything from your phone that this does. And then you have your awning and slide out controls there also. JBL sound system controls. And then that is it there. So we go along this way. You have more USB ports here. So plenty of USB ports everywhere. Again, keep in mind there were some in the flip down armrest right there. You have a Furrion 12-volt refrigerator and freezer. This is the same refrigerator and freezer that is in my travel trailer, and so far it has held up and worked just fine. So no complaints there. You have the Coleman Mach system here for your heating and cooling. And then this bathroom here is just absolutely massive. I don't know that the camera will really do justice on explaining and just showing how big this bathroom really is. My travel trailer has a pass-through bathroom just like this, but it is not as much floor space as this one is. I mean, this is pretty dang remarkable. Now, they give you this big window here, which, you know, in some other travel trailers, you'll see more storage here in this space. So they could have gone either way with that, but I think having this window here definitely makes it feel a lot more open as well. Should have also mentioned it has a barreled ceiling here in this travel trailer. So you can see how the ceiling is barreled. Gives you a little bit taller ceiling height there in the middle, up to almost about 7 feet there, which definitely gives it a pretty nice big feel also. But something about being in this bathroom, man, it just feels like you're in a wider travel trailer. It is really interesting how they were able to do that. Ooh, that's interesting. There is no storage back behind here. Dang, they just have a board here to basically block off all the water lines and electrical lines that are behind there. So, okay. I was like, man, you're going to be real limited on storage, but you have these deep pockets here for additional storage there. So that's 4 different shelves right there. Sliding door here going in and out of the bathroom, and I'm sure a lot of people will appreciate this as well. If you're concerned about like privacy in the bathroom, this door is pretty great. You can see there's no gap up in the top and then a very, very slim little gap in the bottom, kind of almost like a residential door. You have a spot here where you can hang towels, and then the magnet latch holds that shut. A little bungee cord there to hold that in place while you're going down the road. And then your shower here. Now, because it does go into the barreled part of this ceiling, it's not going to give you like the greatest ceiling height in here. It's a plastic 2-piece shower, and let's see how I fit in this space. Still not bad at all. I would say if you're under 5'11", maybe 5'10", you're not going to have to worry about hitting your head here. But anything over 6 feet for sure, you're going to have to step into the skylight to fit in this space, and then you could probably be about 6'5" tops and fit in this shower. Has this nice flexible shower curtain. And then this here, I would certainly have to duck to get underneath this, but if you're about 5'8", maybe 5'7", you probably won't have to duck to get underneath that, or you just hold it up over your head. You have your tankless water heater controls here, and then it has a standard vent fan here in the bathroom. Going into the bedroom, really nice looking bedroom design, decent amount of floor space here to walk around. Pretty much the same amount of space in the travel trailer that I have. Now they have the second door here because when you have your slide out closed, that slide out here in the living room is going to block the door to the bathroom, which means you can still get to your bathroom on the road going through this door right here. You'll be able to step right into the bathroom. This does have a residential queen size mattress here. Storage underneath the mattress. You can see the sliding table there, or sliding little pocket area there. And this here, this is cool. Oh, so it does come with a table. Nice. This is like a wooden table with drop down legs, just like an outdoor picnic table would have. Gosh, I hope people didn't exit out of the video before we got to this part, because I didn't even know that was in here. But you actually have a table that goes in the living area there. So very nice. Very, very pleased to see that. Pretty standard mattress, nothing crazy about that. You might feel the need or want to upgrade that potentially. Spot for a TV here. You have spot to hang clothes there. 2 drawers that will pull out, outlet here, and then individual reading lights over each person. These are definitely a nice little touch. I like being able to have that blue light and being able to just control each of these lights individually. Little pocket area underneath there, outlets and USB ports on both sides of the bed. So really practical bed layout in this space. I know, like in my travel trailer, there's so many little things you notice where it's, you know, they're not things that make the camping like any different or whatnot, but it's just like little things. Like mine just has one individual switch for both lights over the bed. And so when I wake up and just want a little bit of light, that's my closest light switch to hit. And it just is like blinding with light because there's no other control of it. I'm looking to get little like bedside lamps that I can put in those areas next to the bed so that I could have some softer light. But these little reading lights that aren't so aggressive would really be nice. So nice little touch there. Again, 2 ACs in this camper ducted together. And that is pretty much it. So very curious your thoughts on what you think. I think this is such a cool little camper. Again, I would definitely love camping in this thing. I just, you have to like more of a modern feel, I think, to appreciate this. It won't be for everybody, but if you want more of a modern feeling travel trailer, this is it. So again, if you're interested or looking for your next RV, there's a link down below in the comments and description to help you find over 100 different dealerships across the United States with Blue Compass RV. And there's also one thing you should know about that too. When you purchase your RV with Blue Compass, I forget to mention this sometimes, but you will become part of their RV Complete program, which is going to be an app that you're going to download. You're going to get 1 year free of camping to Thousand Trails campsites in a region of the United States that you select. That is really cool. I already used it once, and you'll see that on my Firmly Unbound channel if you go watch the video titled Our First Camping Trip. That's a really cool perk. You get different like RV navigation resources in there, and like stuff to plan out trips and campsites. You get discounts at Love's gas stations on gas, diesel, propane, all kinds of things, and so many other things as part of that RV Complete program. So when you purchase your RV, make sure they set you up with that. I'm sure they will, but just know that's another perk that you get there. And that's all I got for y'all. So until next time, live firmly unbound.